We have some fantastic breaking news from the breaking news man himself. Aaron, do you want to announce what just took place in Wisconsin's Supreme Court election between Judge Susan Crawford and Brad Schimmel, which we don't even need to worry about anymore? What just happened?
History just happened. Susan Crawford just won the election in Wisconsin. And it's truly historic. It's a major win for Democrats in Wisconsin, a major loss for Republicans, especially folks like Elon Musk, who spent, $20 million to try to buy this race.
$28 million that Elon spent, and he was given as much of it out as possible as he possibly could at the end. And we saw these ridiculous comments from Elon over and over and over again, talking about George Soros and all the Democrats trying to flood the race with cash, even though he was giving people $1 million checks. He was doing $1 million checks. He was doing $1,000, $100 for signing a petition. And we saw the AG, the Attorney General of Wisconsin, say that there's going to be some repercussions from this because of this action from Elon Musk. And we are here with a legal expert. You don't just do breaking news, Aaron. Can you talk more now that this election is over and Elon has taken a loss with people making sure they know he can't buy their elections, but also potentially a legal one down the line?
Yeah, so over the weekend, Josh Kaul, the Wisconsin Attorney General, filed an emergency lawsuit in an effort to stop Elon Musk from giving out the $1 million payments. Obviously, that didn't work, right? The courts allowed Elon Musk to continue giving out the payments. He gave out the payments. But just because the lawsuit didn't work over the weekend doesn't mean that it's dead. Investigations are still ongoing. The Wisconsin Attorney General has pledged to continue to investigate whether or not Elon Musk's kind of pay-for-vote scheme violated any laws. In federal law, you're not allowed to pay for someone's vote. And there was a video made where a woman literally as a spokesperson...
She said, I did exactly what Elon Musk told me to do. And then Elon shared the video, instantly deleted it. Now, I don't want to speak on behalf of a real lawyer here, but it seems like if you post a piece of evidence that is clearly breaking the law and then you quickly delete it and don't want to talk about it, does it come off as super innocent on Elon Musk's part? We don't have to make any exact claims, but how does it look for Elon?
So that's actually evidence, right? Him deleting it is evidence in and of itself. So it shows motive, it shows intent to conceal, right? That's like if Elon Musk murdered someone and then hid the knife, or tried to destroy, burn the body. That's the same thing. He's trying to delete the evidence. He's trying to remove what was in the public sphere, but the internet is forever. We have the video. Everyone will see it. The court will see it if it ever gets to a courtroom. But I'm sure that will be Exhibit A in any lawsuit filed by Josh Kaul or any investigation by the FEC.
Now, we don't make a ton of legal predictions here because I don't have the expertise, but you do. Yeah. Is there a possibility down the road that this is not over, that we see the win for Susan Crawford, but potentially a win for the people of Wisconsin who did not want Elon Musk buying their votes?
Listen, I'm not going to say never say never,
I
right?
Love that attitude.
Anything can happen. Odds that Elon Musk is ever held accountable in a courtroom, slim to none, because we know that billionaires are extremely powerful, and whether it's in Wisconsin or anywhere else, Elon Musk being held accountable in a courtroom just doesn't happen every day. So odds are slim, but I think that Josh Kaul will continue fighting. I think that investigative bodies within Wisconsin, across the country, because it happened in Wisconsin today, but remember, this is not the last election this year. There are more elections coming up, and I'm sure Elon's going to be spending a lot more money elsewhere. So it's going to happen elsewhere, and I think that investigatory bodies are going to step up and continue investigating him, and then we'll see what happens.
Now, there were other races that I want to talk about because they happened in our home state tonight, which kind of give us a little look into where maybe the electorate as a whole is in response to Donald Trump's taking approval rating, the same as the case for Elon, for really the Republican Party at large. But what do you think this election means in Wisconsin? You've spoken with Ben Wickler, I believe. You've talked about what's happening on the ground, covering protests across the country. What do you think this means in this moment for where our politics are going, electorally at least, ahead of the midterms?
Yeah, I think the big answer is that the country's ready for a shift back to the center, right? We swung really far to the right in November, and slowly but surely with each election, each special election, we're moving closer and closer to the center and then eventually to the left. So I think this was a real referendum on what's happening in Washington right now. I think no amount of money in the world could have bought this seat for Republicans, given the headwinds against them in the White House right now. So I would expect this to only be a precursor to what's going to happen in November in Virginia, California, New Jersey, and elsewhere around the country, because there are elections coming up in just a matter of months this year.
Yeah, and this is not just the end for Elon in Wisconsin, but Donald Trump has been talking a lot lately about what could be the end possibly for Doge. There are lawsuits stacking up against them as Elon Musk faces this kind of artificial but hopefully real deadline. Hopefully it sticks around. He said about 150 days he would want to spend fixing the government, cutting that waste, fraud, and abuse. That hasn't happened a lot. Do you think the lawsuits that are piling up on Elon, piling up on Donald Trump, piling up on Doge are maybe going to help him move out of the White House? Or is Elon going to stick around because he just loves stealing our tax dollars that much?
Well, I have some good news for everyone watching. Elon is going to leave. He's going to leave on May 30th or before May 30th. It's going to happen.
I heard it here first. This is the breaking news man himself.
He himself has admitted that Doge is finishing up. Doge is running its course. He no longer needs to be a part of it. He has said it on multiple occasions. I think he's getting tired of the public pressure as being a White House senior advisor and all the ethics rules that comes with it. I think Doge will end by mid-2026. Elon will be out of the White House in a matter of 2 months or so. And then the country will go back to quote unquote just a Trump presidency. But there's a lot of time in 2 months, right? Elon could do a lot of damage in 2 months. We've seen him already do a lot of damage in the first 2 months of this administration. So while he's going to leave on May 30th, his presence, he will always be kind of this omnipresent figure within the White House. He'll always kind of be around. I'm sure he may even always have an office, right, in the executive building near.
He also has the Oval Office, I believe.
So he's, and remember, I don't know if you saw, but there was a New York Times report recently that said that Elon Musk is planning on donating up to $100 million into Trump's super PACs. Right, so even if he's not in the White House, he's going to make his presence very known. He's still the owner of the largest social media company in the world.
Unfortunately.
For better or for worse. And so
for worse.
So Elon's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate. But like we've talked about, what is sticking around is that there are pending lawsuits. And while, Elon said that he wants to break things so quickly that no one can respond, Russ Vought, as I always say, his idea was that we want to traumatize government workers. They want to break government so people think it can't work, so people think that it should just all go away. They want to privatize it. They want to write another gigantic tax cut. But as we wait for more and more rulings to come in, do you think the courts are going to be favorable for us or favorable for Doge going forward as Elon Musk closes out his tenure?
It's anyone's guess, right? I mean, I think it depends on the court, it depends on the judge, it depends on the circuit, it depends on the case. I mean, there's so many variables. I think in Texas, in a conservative court in the Fifth Circuit, you're going to have Doge wins. In California, in the Northern District of California, you're going to have Democratic wins. It's going to be a push and pull all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, which will hear arguments on these cases in the next several months and probably not rule until sometime next year. And then who knows? It's anyone's guess. I think ultimately, though, the courts are doing their job, right? Not everything Doge is doing is quote unquote illegal or violates the law. There are a lot that Doge is doing is violative of the law, but not everything. And when courts are getting it right, courts are getting it wrong, folks are appealing. It's a long process. So
now we started this video talking about a really exciting election in Wisconsin, but of course there were some not as exciting results in our collective home state of Florida.
Yeah.
But while we didn't see wins from the Democrats running in those races, incredibly tight margins, much smaller than we would have seen just a couple of months ago with Donald Trump. Can you speak a little bit more to what that result means? Maybe not a win, but what is the moral, what is the personal kind of victory that we have as Democrats, seeing that people are starting to shift, Republicans starting to shift, independents and more Democrats turning out as well?
Yeah, I mean, I told everyone, Florida 6 was within 15 points. That to me was a win, and it is within 15 points.
Yeah.
I consider that a big win for Democrats because that's a race that Donald Trump won by 30 points. That's a race that Republicans should have had in the bag, but Democrats outspent them 10-1. So ultimately, it's a sign once again that the country is ready to move on from what we saw in November. It's slowly but surely moving to the center and then to the left, and the pendulum is swinging, and it's happening in kind of real time right now.
And we're seeing a great example of that is in these hands-off protests that are going to be taking place on April 5th. I gave a shout out to these protests that are being organized. It's going to be the largest protest collectively across the country in a city, a town, a state near you. We have so many people organizing right now, and it's not just taking place on the ground. A lot of it is happening online. We talk about so much recently the importance of independent media, and I don't really think anyone's done a better job of that than you, Aaron. What are you hearing from folks on TikTok, your exploding Instagram page, and obviously you have the fastest growing Substack, which I have promised Aaron will be plugged below because he is doing such great work helping us out tonight with this important news. What are you hearing from the folks talking to you? Are people organized online in a way that you haven't seen before, as someone who's spent so much time in this independent media space?
People are excited, right?
Yeah.
People are energized.
I hope you are as well. This is a collab that I hope you get excited about.
I mean, the energy's back. I mean, the energy we saw in October, September, I mean, it's coming back.
Yeah.
People are no longer kind of complacent. They're no longer feeling down. I mean, we saw tonight Cory Booker stand for 25 hours and beat Strom Thurmond's filibuster record. So people are excited. They see leaders are stepping up in the Democratic Party, and they want to make their voices heard. So I would expect a big turnout this Saturday.
Yeah. What else do you want to see from Democrats? We saw a huge turnout in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We saw a huge turnout in Florida. Elected Democrats. What do you think we maybe need to be doing a little bit differently? Cory Booker obviously set the tone with messaging, but I've talked about this a lot lately.
Yeah.
I think Democrats in the first 2 weeks, even maybe the first 2 months of the Trump administration were like, maybe people want us to work with him. Maybe we should take a little bit of time. But obviously Cory Booker and the response to him tonight has shown that, no, we want you to get animated. We're as upset as we need you to be. What do you think Democrats need to be doing more? Obviously you have a huge messaging platform that you've built. What would you see Democrats, what do you want to see them do online like you are right now?
So what I want to see, and this is going to be a bit of a controversial take, is I want the presidents back in action. I want the vice presidents back in action. I want Vice President Harris back. I want President Joe Biden back.
You are speaking my language.
Right. I want President Obama back. I want these leaders, these institutional leaders, I give them a complete pass. They took several months off. They gave Trump his runway. Fine. But now we're in a fight for kind of the future of our country more so than ever before, and I want them back, and I want them making their voices heard.
Now, Aaron, I got a question for you. You want the leaders to get in a fight. You have a pretty big following. Have you thought about maybe partnering? We've seen members of Congress, we've seen senators go to red districts. Are you thinking about, you know what, maybe people want to come out and hear as alongside a member of Congress, maybe a senator? Does Aaron get involved in maybe one of these red districts? Do you go and talk to people? I'm sure you have some followers, or am I just, is this too much praise now?
I'm not political. I just bring the facts.
You just bring the news. Well, you're bringing the news all over the place. Maybe you're not going to be physically in a red district, but what you are saying is reaching people. Aaron, you are building one of the biggest and most important platforms online. We are trying to model good Aaron Parnas behavior every single day on this show by bringing the news. Obviously, you're doing about 19,000 videos a day. You don't sleep. You never stop working. Aaron and I are here in the Capitol right now because we wanted to be covering this historic moment. I am talking too long, all just to say thank you so much for the work you're doing. You're killing it.
Thanks, Jack.
As always.
And subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, subscribe. And if you stuck around for this entire analysis, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, go subscribe to Aaron's Substack as well. Follow him on Instagram, follow him on TikTok. He is on YouTube as well. We're going to link it all.
Thank you.
Big win for Susan Crawford, a loss for Elon Musk. It's been a big day.
We did it.
We did it.